Good morning. Welcome to this December 18th Board of Commissioners meeting. First item is public comment. Do we have anyone here that would like to speak for that? Okay, seeing none, we'll get right into our presenters. First one is our recorder, Beth Keeney. Good morning, Beth.
Good morning. This is Beth Keeney, recorder. We need to have something on the record of the minutes for the bank in order to change the name of from the old recorder to the new recorder. And so I'd like to ask kind of like a formality and get this on the record so we can do that at the first of the year.
Okay.
And my term ends December 31st, and I've been here 8 years and as a recorder, and I want to say thank you, and it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve the Clinton County taxpayers.
Thank you, Beth. I think,
Beth.
so do you want us to announce the change, or do you want to announce it for the minutes who it's going from you to Kylie?
You guys can
Okay,
announce it.
all right.
Right.
Well, I appreciate your passion that you've run your office for. I think everyone that deals with you knows that you have that, their best interest, and really look out for them. And I've dealt with you personally as a citizen, and I've always enjoyed it because you always try and find a solution. And so that's something we can only ask for. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
I agree. Thanks, Beth.
So transition from Beth Keeney to Kylie Mitchell, starting on January 1 of 25 for the new recorder position, just putting it in the minutes so that it can be noted for the bank checking accounts to be switched over.
Okay.
I don't think we need a
I was
motion.
gonna
or
say, I don't
anything,
think-
just note it. Okay. Next, we have Brett Barton with, I'll call it the CALA proposal for clinical outpatient services.
Correct. We've been using CALA for about 3 months. Right now, probation's paying for those services. This will be paid through my grant through DOC. Once we lost our CMHC, we had to reach out to somebody, and we found a good partner with CALA, and we're happy to continue that for next year.
Okay. So we have the contract to approve here for Brett and Community Corrections. Everything's good with it? Happy?
Absolutely.
All right, perfect. Do I have a motion, Bert?
Motion to approve the contract for the clinical outpatient services with Kyla.
All right, motion
For Kyla.
carries 2-0.
Thank you.
We'll skip around a little bit because the bids for Green Street are not till 9:15. So Rick with a highway update.
Morning.
Morning, Rick.
I have a bid for a utility bid for one of our utility trucks we're gonna buy next year, 2025, and I was wondering if the commissioners would sign it for me,
For the bed?
just for the utility bid.
Yep. Okay. This is with Clark Truck Equipment,
Yes.
21,995. So, you
Motion
good with
to-
that?
Authorize the president to sign for the bid of the utility bed.
Okay. Motion carries 2-0 on that.
Also, we plowed a little bit of snow and put some salt and sand down, got the new guys out there. We got the new guys out there, they're doing fine, so. The guys yesterday and today, everybody's on the gravel roads, checking them out, making sure that they're got stone on them and no potholes.
Yeah.
Working on that, that's what we're doing.
Very good.
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
Okay. Don't see Liz, so we'll move on. Go to our old business. We have a couple items here. First one is the material bids for 2025, which I believe, you can come back up if you want, Rick. I don't know if you have any thoughts or comments that you want to.
I just want to accept all bids as they are.
Okay. So that's traditionally what we've done. It allows flexibility for the highway to utilize multiple suppliers of products. So,
Yeah, motion to accept.
motion carries 2-0 to accept all of the material bids for 2025. Next, we received the snow bids. I'll go through them. We have Russell Trucking and Excavating for a 1-year bid of $1,470. And then we have Smith's Lawn Care for $1,663. And then we have Elite Lawn and Landscaping, which they did not bid on a 1-year term. They did only the 3. So we asked for a 1-year or a 3-year. So for 3-year, Russell Trucking and Excavating was $1,585. Smith's Lawn Care was $2,377, and Elite Lawn and Landscaping was $1,600. So I think we continue down the 1-year path. It seems to be working for us and
Yeah, I think
allows some
so.
flexibility. So
Yeah, personally.
the low bid would be Russell Trucking and Excavating at the $1,470 if we wanted to go that direction. So
Yeah. And who'd we use last year?
Smith
Smith did.
yeah, they've had it for a few years now. So I have no issue going with the lower bid here.
Yeah,
So,
I think that, based on the dollar amount, the lower bid, I'll make the motion that we continue with Russell, or not continue, but we authorize Russell for the new contract.
okay. Motion carries 2-0 to accept Russell Trucking and Excavating for the new snow bid for 2025.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Next, we have a contract for sale of personal property. As many of you know, this is related to the canine from the sheriff's office, Tico. We have come to an agreement that he will be sold to essentially the Hometown Foundation for $8,000, which they are then gifting to Deputy Melissa Trump. So we've kind of worked out all this. At the point that we do this, it'll be no longer property of Clinton County. You'll take ownership, and I believe we've worked out the transition of that as well. So if there's no questions or comments with that, Bert, we'll entertain them.
Only question that I have is who set the dollar amount?
I did,
You did?
yep. So Melissa and I
And-
worked on that.
And Melissa, you worked with that or agreed with that too then? Okay, okay. Well, I'll make the motion that we sign the contract for sale of the canine dog, and we release our obligation as of today.
Okay, motion carries 2-0.
Congratulations.
Next item, we have an invoice from Envoy for work that RQAW has done here at design work at the courthouse. It's for $4,487.48. Motion to approve.
And second. Or I'll make the motion.
Motion, second, yep. All right, motion carries 2-0 on that. Need her to sign that. Did Melissa leave?
She needs to sign this.
New business, we have interlocal agreement for a contribution of an ambulance purchase. Stephen, you want to walk us through it?
So this has been many months in the works with Center Township, and Jamie has been fantastic to work with, as well as the rest of the board for Center Township. What they've agreed to is do a annual contribution for 6 years for the payment of a new ambulance. The vast majority of our 911 calls are within Center Township, and they recognize that burden and the call volume that we experience and the miles that we put on our ambulances, and so they're just going to do a monetary contribution. It'll be Clinton County's ambulance, but they're going to help finance it, and so they'll pay the full amount over the course of 6 years.
So the full total purchase price is $274,971, and over that 6 years, Center Township will pay $45,775.
I will ask, Jamie has sent this contract to their attorney, and I've yet to hear back, so I'm not sure if you want to curb it for the next meeting for a motion and just acknowledge it today, or what exactly you'd like to do. But I haven't heard back on any addendums or anything like that.
Okay, well, we'd probably better table it
Yeah,
to
until we
make sure
figure
there's
out
no additional changes
changes.
rather than
Yep.
accepting on one side and waiting, so,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll.
Yeah, I'm in favor of it. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that-
From ours, I know Tom's worked with you on it, so, and I looked through it, had no issue. So from our perspective, we're good. We'll just
We ought to wait for them.
make sure both parties are good rather than
Absolutely.
one of us doing it.
Absolutely.
Good.
Okay,
Motion that we table that till the next upcoming commissioners meeting.
okay. Motion
Thank you.
carries 2-0. All right, next item, we have some appointments to the RDA. This is coming around because we've been flagged with the SBOA because we did not have appointments there, and there was some, I guess the right word would probably be uncertainty of who made those appointments. The RDA basically acts as a holding or pass-through for an entity for the county in terms of, was it the water tower, Tom? Or it was something out at 65 and 28. And so we need to fill those vacancies so that board is compliant, and it found out it comes down to the commissioners. So
Okay.
here we are. We have 3 recommendations. That is Andy Bailey, Brett Osler, and Peyton Moeller for that board. Would you be willing to accept those recommendations, Bert?
Yes, I would. I would suggest that we accept all 3 of those.
Okay. Motion carries 3-0 to appoint those individuals to the RDA. Okay, go to department heads. Do I have any department heads that would like to go? Nancy's up. Good morning.
I just have a request to replace an employee.
Okay, and no changes to job description, right?
No.
Okay,
Good.
good with it, Bert?
I am totally good with it. Qualifications are okay. Good.
Yep. All right.
Okay,
All right, you have our approval.
okay, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think you need a motion for that, do you?
I think that was.
Yeah.
I've got a few things. Sorry.
Okay. No,
So earlier this year, working with Kelly Moore, we were able to establish a grant for a safe haven baby box at the EMS station. I know last month it was presented from the opioid settlement committee that a match for the grant for us to move forward in the process was approved by the commissioners and the council both. So I have a lease agreement that was provided to me Monday from Safe Haven Baby Box, and ultimately the amount due with purchase is $15,500. We got $10,000 from the grant plus a $10,000 contribution from the opioid settlement committee. And then there's an annual $500 agreement with it for upkeep and stuff. So the grant expires 12/31. I can get an extension if absolutely necessary, but I know this was all kind of put together, kind of waiting for the verdict on the opioid settlement funding. But with that, I'd like to move forward with that. So
okay, so we'd probably want to look at it, I mean, not question it,
Yeah.
but we do meet on the 31st that morning. So we could, if Tom reviews it and we review it, then we'll be able to get it approved the morning of the 31st, and you should still meet your deadline,
okay,
Yeah.
woo, okay,
by my math, assuming it's midnight on the 31st.
Use
So,
fax machine. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but
okay,
just, can you get it, email us electronic copies?
Yeah.
That'd be best.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Okay.
And then the next one, we have our paramedic students. So what we've offered for the paramedic students that are EMTs for Clinton County going into our paramedic program is that we would waive their tuition fee with a 2-year contract. They'll owe the full amount if they do not complete the program, or they don't pass the National Registry, or if they leave early. And so that full tuition is $7,800. I've got 3 students' contracts right here for you to review. I used the template Tom sent me. They've already signed it. I've signed it. It's just for your review and approval at your leisure.
Okay.
And then third, Axon body cams. So we are we've got the funding approval from the county council moving into 2025 for recording cameras in the back of the ambulance for enhanced DEA regulation compliance, and then also looking for body cams for EMS professionals or personnel. Ultimately, we've been in a trial for the last couple of months. I found really good success with it personally. The public has not questioned it once. When I've asked what their thoughts are, I've received really positive feedback from patients. Nobody's asked for me to turn the camera off. Nobody has really expressed any concerns at all. I'm kind of surprised by the lack of response. Like, nobody has said a word. I've had to pry it out of people to get a response. So I think that it's what I'm seeing on my end. It's a very valuable tool for us for both accountability for both our providers as well as patients, and then also for us to continue to enhance our practice through audit and review. So they've sent me a couple contracts. They gave us a 5% discount if we sign before the end of the year. They're pushing really hard for us to sign that, obviously. But we've got the funding approval moving into 25, so I'll give you guys the contracts, and I guess maybe by the 31st we'll know what your thoughts
Yeah,
are. So
yeah, we could probably get that done.
sounds great.
Just email them over to us. That way Tom can review them, we can review them. So you can bring up the paramedic ones
Okay.
now, be fine. Because we reviewed those before Tom sent the
I was gonna say,
template
we've
out.
seen
So, I mean, there's really, no, we can sign off on those after the meeting for you.
Perfect.
So,
Okay.
okay.
You guys have anything for me?
No, I
good.
appreciate it. Good
Okay.
info.
Yeah.
Last thing, I'm just going to harass Wade here. This is his last 2 days with us. As he's going to join Frankfurt Fire, so I was going to tease Josh a little bit and suggest, we had a no-compete clause because Frankfurt Fire keeps stealing my good EMTs. But we're going to miss Wade. He's going to do great and continue to serve the community. So
Well, appreciate your service here, Wade, and good luck as you continue to still work in the community.
And have you thought about joining the Frankfurt Fire?
Do what?
Have you thought about joining the Frankfurt Fire?
What do you,
I'm just teasing you.
Like,
That-
twice.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
did you think?
Yeah,
Depends on who you ask, I guess.
yeah. All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, any other department heads? Tim?
Just looking for approval. It's the time of the year again to renew our subscription services on the firewall for malware and URL filtering. It's roughly about $6,000, so just looking for official approval to continue with that.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Yep. Carries 2-0, thanks. Anyone else? Anyone? Okay, seeing none. We're past our 9:15, so we can now open our Green Street bids, and I will pass it to Tom to do that.
All right, first bid from Gracie Balderas, 14,000. Second bid. $6,050 from David James. Next bid. $5,000. This is about it. So we just have, looks like 3 bids, highest one $14,000.
Okay, do we need to take them under advisement, or what do you think?
You can accept the highest bid if you want now, and I can start the deed and then get that to you if you put in your motion that you'll sign the deed. And
Okay.
as soon as we receive payment.
Okay, you want to do that?
I'll make the motion that we go forward and approve the bid for Gracie Valdez,
Balderas.
or Dalderis, in the amount of $14,000, and that deed will be provided at the time of closing and funding.
Okay, motion carries 2-0. I'll circle back to the top because I saw Liz show up, assuming you have something. Okay, all right.
Good morning.
We have two properties that we had posted orders that they needed to be removed in both cases because of septic system issues. And both have been past their 30 days, and there is no action as far as with the health department on either one of them. One was a situation where there was a remodel years ago and they compacted everything in the yard and cut through the septic, and it's sort of been sitting since. And the other is a situation where there's no response from the owner. It's a large company out of Texas, and I know Kat previously, when she worked for the city, she dealt with them there too, and she said it's pretty typical that they don't respond, and the jurisdiction ends up doing what they have to do. So the two sites, the one that is owned out of state is the 3175 South State Road 39. And then the other is in Hillisburg, it's 8938 East Hillis Street. So in both cases at this point, the question is whether you want to move forward with a 10-day order towards tear down to let you take bids, or if you want to issue a fine, or what you would like us to do as a next step on either of those. I believe the house on 39 is vacant now. The one on Hillis Street is. It had a stop work order placed on it a few years ago when the septic ended up becoming an issue. The one on 39 did have someone in it. We did have contact with them. They understood they couldn't continue squatting there. There was kind of an issue where the landlord wasn't providing what was supposed to be happening either, so there were kind of layers, and they did call us back to tell us that they thought they had something lined up by Delphi to move into, and they were supposed to be moving out before this meeting, I think this last week, so it should also be a vacant house at this point.
Okay. Do you have a preference of?
Well, I sort of think that is there a maximum on the fine that we can attach?
So there's 3 levels of fines. Your first fine, which is a range, I don't have it in front of me, I want to say it's like 100 to 250 or something like that. And then the second fine is again a range, but it's just a little higher. And then your third and consecutive fines, I think, are up to like 2,500 per time. And of course, all of those go as tax liens if they're not paid. But you have to get through the first 2 before you get to the bigger ones.
Okay.
I think fine should be the first step for us before we move to the more extreme steps of.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think too. Regretfully, that first step is kind of small, but
It's okay.
'cause I'm thinking of
We-
whatever that maximum is on our first fine, I would suggest doing that. So if it's
Okay.
$250, then let's start out with the maximum.
Well,
whatever
if
that
you just want to make your motion to find the maximum amount the ordinance permits for a first
That's exactly what
lien,
I'd
then
like to do.
we can look it up and we'll take care of
Whatever that motion, or
sending
whatever
that,
that
if it's not-
maximum amount is, I would suggest we go to that maximum amount, especially if the city and other people have had issues with a large company in Texas. Obviously, they're not carrying too much.
I think they just own a lot of inventory, if I was guessing. Like, I don't know if it's if I'm going to assign personal feelings to an individual at a desk, but I get the impression they just have a lot of inventory and
Well,
it
maybe
gets
that'll
lost
wake
in the
them up.
mess.
Okay, so we have
Motion.
a motion to fine at the maximum the ordinance allows.
Correct.
I will second that motion
Okay, on both houses.
on
Yes.
both properties, yep.
Okay, all right, perfect. We'll take care of sending that out, and then if we don't get a response and have it paid, we will let Tom know, and then we'll bring this back to you probably in a month if we haven't got compliance on either one.
Second or third. In fact, if it's a 10 days and they're supposed to respond in 10 days, I would even suggest you go ahead and activate number 2 right off the bat. I mean, let's not.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have to technically come back for a motion, or some sort of set
Yeah.
timeline.
I'm just telling you,
But
that's
yeah.
my thoughts. We're going to go number 2 right off the bat then, if that's the case.
Okay. What my plan would be then is, I guess, just to bring it back to you at your first meeting in January, if that
Good.
works.
Yeah,
So,
that's fine.
I guess I'll bring it back to you. Even if they comply, I'll just give you a positive report, so.
Liz, I have one for you too.
Yeah,
though,
no
before we
problem.
go. We've mentioned it before, but on State Road 421, I believe it's just a little bit south of 300. I believe Sheets.
That sounds really familiar.
It's on the right-hand side.
Yep.
There's a lot of trash that's being collected and just dumped on that property now all the way
Okay.
along.
Okay.
So if you.
I'll ask Kat to drive back out there.
Cat needs to take a look at it and, we need to notify him right off the bat that it's unacceptable.
Okay. I know we've got some scheduled vacation time here in the next week or so. It may be the first week of January before we get letters out, but we will get somebody out there and start on that.
Only because it's Christmas.
I know, right? Merry Christmas. And thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Purchase one of the houses that you just. Yeah, I'm the.
Oh, can you go to the,
Yeah.
if it's about,
This is going to be the Hillisburg.
oh, okay,
House.
Oh,
okay,
that's good.
With
okay.
Yeah, I'm the owner of the 8938 Hillsborough house. I just don't fix it now, the septic tank, because, I mean, I was got a hard situation, but my goal is fixing next year.
Okay.
Try to save money, and septic tank is not cost $2,000, cost $12,000.
Yeah.
If I find any company more cheaper, or you guys help me, I mean, of course I can fix it as soon as possible. Yeah, but I mean, it's my house, and I own only this year taxes, and I'm gonna pay hopefully before this year.
Okay.
Well, if that's the case, then the motion to send you a notice, I don't know that if that's necessary or not then on that property.
Legally, I would need to send the notice of the fine, give him the opportunity to pay it and then comply. I know Kat and him had some conversation, and Kat had recommended that, like others we've dealt with, if you wanted to have a plan, they needed to come up with a timeline and actual commitments by which he should be judged to either be complying or to not be complying. You know, this one's a little bit like the one in Forest, has kind of gone on for a while, so.
Okay.
But, you know, we
Well.
recommend it's hard to work with an unknown timeline.
I would suggest working and getting it worked out with Liz and her department then.
If you can get us a timeline, what dates you'll have things done by, guaranteed, or then I can bring that to the commissioners to discuss if they are willing
Because
to.
when I bought the house, the septic tank, it was broke, and the owner and they don't tell me. And I just bought the house like 4 years ago. You know, so, and I know the papers, they said 2013, but I don't buy the house 2013. But the owner, they don't tell me the truth, so now I pay for everything very much.
Yeah.
And
that's-
whatever who work in the house, I pay for the septic tank, and he run with the money. And I never find the guy. So I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Screw me up.
It's unfortunate to hear. So what we can do is, we'll have to probably issue the first fine that we have here at the moment. And then at that point, if you can work on a timeline, we can start to work with you to try and make it happen so that you can fix it over time. We just have to have something more concrete on, you're gonna have certain dates that you're gonna get milestones of things accomplished.
Yeah, because I don't want to lose my house. That's the
Yeah.
only way I have right now.
Yeah, so, and if you work with Liz in her office, we'll try and work with you the best we can to
Yeah.
get you in the house. We don't want to tear it down. That
One house has to
doesn't,
be fixed,
it's
have
not
Yeah, I
a
know.
great
I know.
use of taxpayer money to have to tear down homes. So if we can avoid that and we can get it back on the tax roll and have it updated, that's better for everybody. So that's what we want to try and work with you to do.
Yeah, and that's why I come in today, and
Yeah.
because I drive the other day in my house. I'm like,
Appreciate it.
I'm like, okay, well, because I mean, I was fixing this year, but I just got little things, you know.
Yeah, yep, understand. So if you work with her, getting your timeline,
Yeah, of
we'll work with you to try and get it done.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
okay?
All right,
All
thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Does Kat have your number?
Okay. I know I'm all over the board here based on what was printed versus where we're at, but we're down, unless any other department heads need to go. I don't see any. We'll go to commissioner reports.
I have none.
You have none? I have one, I don't know that it's a report, it's more informational, but it also will require a motion, more of an internal matter. So historically, deputy prosecutors who are, regardless of their status, if they're full-time or part-time, have been covered on the county insurance. We've been looking, this goes back to, we've heard as long as the 80s, the commissioners made a decision to do this, or in the early, like 1992, 93 timeframe, somewhere in there, but we obviously don't have all the minutes, and it's really hard to find that. So there was some question because the current policy and handbook says that part-time employees don't, but commissioners before us made that decision. So it feels right that we continue to honor that rather than make that change, so there can be some clarity when hiring in that department. So we have something on record, and then we can make an amendment to the handbook when we do some of those in this upcoming year, that part-time special prosecutors are covered. I would entertain a motion to make that.
How many do we have in that category?
I don't know.
3 or 4?
Nah, I think it's less than that. There's deputy prosecutors, and there's some that are part-time and some that are full-time. I don't know the exact
I think
number.
there's only one
Yeah,
part-time.
Okay.
so,
Okay, I'll make the motion that we honor the previous past exception in reference to insurance offered to the part-time prosecutor.
deputy pro,
Computers.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. So we have that. I'll second that. Now we have it. So if anyone needs to go reference it, it's in some minutes, because we're not sure if it was done publicly or just told it could be done. So, all right, that's all I have there. We will move on to our claims. We have claims dated December 13th in the amount of $7,027.54 bi-weekly, on December 18th in the amount of $1,475,577.87, and court claims on December 18th in the amount of $24,539.38.
Motion to approve claims.
Motion carries 3-0. Next, we have payroll from November 29th in the amount of $556,132.01.
Motion to approve payroll.
All right, motion carries 2-0 on payroll. Lastly, we have our minutes from our commissioner meeting on November 7th.
Motion to approve commissioners.
Motion carries 2-0 on the minutes. Our next meeting, as we've mentioned a few times, will be on December 31st. That's a cleanup meeting, and then we will, it's crazy to think that 24 is already over. We'll start 25. So with that, I would wish everyone a Merry Christmas and entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All right, thank you.
I haven't seen it.
All right.